What's up, dudes? Welcome back to another episode of Rhomas Men's Team. Pretty simple. We are a group of guys helping each other make progress towards each other's goals. If you're new to the channel, awesome and welcome. If you want to help support the channel and join our pro team, head over to rhomasteam.com/pro, where you can contribute to us on a donation basis. We also give you access to exclusive content, mastermind groups, etc., etc. So anyway, hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll see you on the team. I read something last night that I thought was pretty interesting. It was, or I guess there was this video, and it was talking about expanding your usable vocabulary in a really proactive way, which I was really attracted to the idea. Actively seeking ways of enhancing how you speak and the words that you use, and this sort of like symbiotic relationship of that being a direct correlation with how you think. So crystal clear thoughts equal crystal clear words, and then also practicing how you use those. So this guy was actually, I guess, arguing for simulating conversations when you're alone and almost like scripting them, not in a manipulative way, but in a way to get better at using words, which I thought was absolutely outstanding. And I'm going to start, there's a couple courses on it I'm going to start actually taking. Forget what the guy's name was, otherwise I would share it with you guys, but I'll have to find it. I'll post it to the Discord. But a big fan of learning how to use one's words. I think there are very few things on the planet that you can adopt that skill set and have as high of an ROI as you would from learning how to use words better. So anyway, I'm trying to get Ray on here. Paul Wall, I'm going to invite you up as well, maybe to take Ray's spot if you're available, buddy. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What up? What's going on, Wes?
Dude, have you been on here before? I can't remember.
Yeah, dude, I was a guy that's trying to fucking start his own HVAC business.
Yeah.
A few months ago.
Tell me about it, man. What are the updates? Thanks for coming on. You're saving me here because Ray's internet is shit right now.
All good, dude. Thanks for having me on. Updates. I just went back to work after like 2 months off this week.
Okay.
So I don't know, man. Like the whole like 2 months I had off, I was just like, I'm gonna focus on mentally preparing myself and getting like a better mental fortitude, and it kind of just turned into like the most selfish version of like self-ambition. And I had to fucking reel it back a little bit. I was just fucking chasing like I don't know, this idea that I was gonna take these 2 months, turn it into boot camp, and be mentally the strongest version of myself that I could be, to send myself back out into the working world. And I think I went too far.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about that. Ray, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Your internet is not shit. It's subpar at best. So when I think this is a tough topic, because I think there's a fine line, right? Like, walk me through, if you don't mind, what you're walking away with the conclusion of. How'd you phrase it? Like self-indulgent. How'd you phrase
it? Like extremely selfish, self-ambition.
Okay. Why did you come up with that conclusion? I'm not saying it's wrong. I want to learn.
I kind of got locked into like a program where I'd wake up in the morning, fucking, do all the shit I had to do, apple cider vinegar, like just start like doing the hard things first and start winning the day.
Yep.
And I started relying on that, and something happened where like I had to like take my kid to daycare, and it fucked my morning up.
Yeah.
And it didn't fuck my. I don't know. I was just fucking grumpy about it. I was just a dick about it like the entire day. And then like I felt like I couldn't win the day, and I feel like I couldn't do the things that I needed to do to like win the day. And then my
Mm.
wife's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this obviously isn't healthy. Like, you need to reel it back. And I was like, oh, yeah. I was basically just like, just childish behavior, didn't get my way.
Be like,
Um,
yeah, you don't
so,
understand. If you missed your red light therapy this morning, you'd be cranky too. Yeah, like
yeah,
yeah, I get it. Like I've got the same DNA. Um, I I do wonder though. Like I think what's missing from most of like those morning routines, honestly, in my opinion, is value creation. Like I don't think there's a single morning routine that I've heard on the internet space where it's like for the majority of the day produce value for others. Like I think that's the missing component. And arguably you're doing all of those things in my view so that you can be the type of man who produces value for other people. I think that's what's missed. It's like, okay, cool, you can hop into cold plunge, you can do red light therapy, right? You can drink some apple cider vinegar like you're referring to, right? You can meditate, you can do all that stuff. If it's not in the name of creating value for other human beings, especially your family, and especially for your customers or clients in your business, then what is the point? Like that's almost the definition of, right, like, or a version of a trust fund baby who just gets to go around and do all the things that they like to do all day without contributing back to society. There has to be a reciprocal relationship between us and other human beings. It's baked into our DNA. If we do not do that, we will be unhappy. Ray, what say you?
Agreed, Wes. And look, Ramon, you're gonna have bad days. I mean, I just had one yesterday where I just couldn't get out of my head, or like I felt like I couldn't wake up, no matter how much coffee I had. And I still haven't figured it out why that was the case yesterday, but um, I'm just gonna have to chalk it up to a bad day. And I don't know if you need to understand or why you had a bad day. Like it sounds like a deviation from your routine or your scorecard or whatever kind of threw you
Yeah.
off. And but I think that so just know that and just I think like your scorecard is tremendously valuable to you, like all those self-care items that you're talking about. And so if it didn't turn you into the perfect dad and the perfect citizen on that day, well, I forgive you. You know,
I don't. No, I'm just
of
kidding.
course you don't,
Um,
Wes.
well, so walk us through how have things changed? So you went on that journey for I think you said 2 months, right? What's going on now? Where's your headspace? Where's the progress, etc.?
Headspace is pretty good. Progress, just I'm racking up the wins little by little.
Oh
Be it
yeah.
big, be it small, whatever. I mean, um, yeah, I don't know, man. I I
You
mean,
were
I
on
got like,
disability or something, right? You were off work for a
yeah,
while. You still off
yeah.
work, or
So I
you
was on
back?
cruise control for a little. No, I'm back. I went back this week.
Okay.
Um,
And then tell us about your, and this is something that comes up for a lot of our brothers, right? Wes is like the comfortable job versus the risk loaded entrepreneurial path, right?
Yeah.
When Ramon and I had a couple of one-on-one sessions, he was telling me about, he's been at the same job for 6 years or whatever it was. And just like Paul last week, um, and just like Luke the week before, it was like I'm feeling kind of jammed up. I'm feeling kind of stuck. And is it time to go out on my own? I have these kids and these obligations. I do have a good job, but I'm feeling unfulfilled. Did I capture that right, Ramon?
yeah, yeah. I'm in like a different space. I don't know. Like my risk is very high. Like if I fail 5 times over. So
Mm.
I really need to have my ducks in a row. I really need to have everything lined up. And right now I'm just like, it's the holidays. Like I gotta chill. Like it could be another bigger version of that chasing that self ambition where I completely fucking ruined Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas because I'm chasing trying to be an entrepreneur, and now I'm leaving my kids with mental scars. So I don't
Well, look,
know.
all you have to do is
That
dress up.
stuff.
Like you can still be an entrepreneur. You just
Yeah, hell
gotta,
yeah.
you guys gotta dress up like a maitre d' at a gay restaurant in Nashville or whatever.
So,
Dude,
okay, so
I'm stuck between like just like being happy with what I have and just being content. Like I don't know. Like I don't feel like pushing myself like much further past that. I don't know
so
if that's
is
bad.
that do you think, well, I don't think anything's bad. I think, I don't know, I'm pretty robotic in my thinking, and it's like, okay, well, if we took the arithmetic of the situation, are you saying you are comfortable with that because on the other side of that coin is fear, and I feel like I will fail, or I have failed, and so on? Or I'm saying I'm comfortable with it, no, because I want to know that I got a 9 to 5, and I get home at 5:30, and it's predictable, and it pays our bills, and my like category of excellence is like being a dad and making sure everything is stable, etc. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the nucleus, the intention, in my opinion, would be what could be wrong with a situation like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it
what
makes
is it for you?
sense. Um, I don't know, just trying to like just ground yourself and be happy for what you got. Like me personally, like I mean I got 4 kids in a really healthy relationship with my wife, so it's
Outstanding.
like fuck man, what more do I like? I mean, when I'm just gonna chase a bunch of money. Like we have a
Yeah.
roof over our head and we have food in the fridge and fuck man, I don't know. Like I'm able to like push myself and go to the gym and I'm slowly getting back into CrossFit and shit. So my diet's dialed in.
Hell yeah.
Like I just don't know like what else like I don't
Why
know.
aren't
I
you
just don't
happy?
want
Like
to
then, why aren't you the happiest guy on earth?
dude,
Right?
I fucking am. But I right now it's about like maintaining what I have and it's like how long do I go on cruise control for? Like do I just end up uh I don't know, just in a revolving door? But I mean, I don't right now I'm just like fucking whatever. I'm just gonna ride this out for a little bit.
Hmm.
I guess it's a question of growth, Wes, and you want to tell us a little bit about growth and why, even though there's no growth without pain and like going out of your comfort zone, it seems to be something that humans require.
Yeah, I think so. This again, Ramon, you know this. This is just my view for myself. This is not expressing judgment or advice to anybody. I think what comes up for me is like fuck cruise control forever and always, right? Like I do think it's a myth personally, because I think the law of, what do they call it? The law of entropy, right? Like the gravitational forces pushing us down require, right? Like it automatically we will be contracting even if we're trying to maintain. Um, I think the philosophy that I have adopted, because it's straddling that line between humility and being happy for what you have and grateful for what you have, yet still being hungry for what land you haven't conquered yet. Do you know what I mean? Um, for me, the word that I use very, very frequently is semi-satisfied. I've committed to being in a state of perpetual semi-satisfaction. Now, some people might hear that word and they think it's unhealthy, right? But that's up for you to decide, right? We all need these rallying cries or words. Like for me, I'm constantly repeating the mantra of, is this changing my family tree? Yes or no? And I'm committed to changing my family tree, period. It is binary for me. Every activity is either a coin in the bucket of changing the family tree or taking out a coin in there. Now, that doesn't work for somebody, that's amazing. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it's like this eternal fuel. What I would urge you to say or to think through is, right, you have a level of ambition that a lot of people don't. I know I don't know you at the personal level, but I can tell you by the fact that some of the things that you are saying, right? The fact that you spent 2 months trying to optimize yourself rather than just play video games, right? Like that is an indicator for sure. I think sometimes people can get once bitten, twice shy. Hey, I tried that thing once, it didn't work. I just need to sit down, be a good little boy, and because I learned my lesson again. Do you know what I mean? I think when I start to feel that, like, I just get enraged. And I wouldn't want that for you. But again, I don't have, right, like an MRI into your thoughts. So if there is a component of you that is saying these things like, hey, I just want to go on cruise control because I'm literally happy with that, and as long as the family life is sustainable, then that's good. But if there's any little piece of those comments that it's really like, hey, I know my mouth is saying that I'm happy with that, but there's this dude in my brain that says, I know that I could step up in a way bigger way for my family, financially or career-wise, or whatever that would be, without sacrificing the other things, without sacrificing time with the kids, without sacrificing my mental presence to the family. I'm not suggesting sacrifice any of those things. But I would be curious if well, I'll pause there. What are your thoughts?
So I actually lied a little bit. I'm on cruise control until the holidays are over.
Okay.
You posted something a couple weeks ago. It was like 11 things you need to have in order to start your own business on Instagram. So I wrote down all those 11 things, and I figured out that I have most of that shit already figured out. I have like 75% of that stuff dialed in and ready to go. The plan is for 2025 to be a big year of me just doing my own thing.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. So
all I have to do is
didn't
build up a small customer base of like maybe 4 or 5 contractors that will sub me out. And, and then it just bubbles up from there. I get to meet their customers love me. They tell their neighbors about me, and then it's just word of mouth is probably the best marketing in construction.
Oh, dude, I know. So, first of all, I'm so super pumped to hear you say those things. You will crush it, right? Especially in a space, and I used to be in construction and landscaping and so on. If you can bring a gentleman's perspective and honor into, right, like those types of fields, and I'm saying that respectfully, you will automatically have a leg up. Like, just being honest, right? Like sincerely, Ray, I don't know your thoughts on this, but it's like when I meet a contractor or an electrician, or honestly, anybody in any field that's just honest with me, right, and says, hey, I'm going to try my best. Here's my predicted deadline. It might change based off of like what I know about this. Do you know what I mean? Just that alone, you would absolutely crush it. Ray, what are your thoughts?
Agreed. And I think that, but I think Ramon's in like a forgivable kind of dilemma, right? Where he's got steady work, he's got 4 kids, he's got the American dream. He's tall, dark, and handsome. Why would he like throw that all up in the air? He's tall, dark, and handsome on Zoom. But and so why would he throw that all up in the air? So what, like Wes, what are some of the ways that you think 2025 can be a big year for him? I agree with you that he's got the bedside manner to absolutely slay from a sales point of view, and a customer service point of view and all that. 2025 starts now. So like, how do you see his trajectory in terms of like, how does he convert, for example, how does he convert his existing relationships, which are tethered to his employer, into, direct relationships, right?
Yeah, honestly, and I totally respect it. And I really do like the idea of like, hey, Wes, I'm in this season right now where like we're going into the holiday season and I want to enjoy it. I think that's phenomenal. I think that's absolutely outstanding. I would consider, adding out there, if you can consume, go to Alex Hormozi's website, acquisition.com, and consume his like he's got courses on there literally for free. If you're about to start a business, I would 100% consume all of that stuff. Right? He's got a lot of stuff on YouTube, but it's more like randomized. Like literally go to the website. There's like literally a step-by-step course that he puts up there for free. If I had to start business over again, that's where I would go. Like just like super honestly. It will help you develop an offer. It helps you think about sales processes and so on. The amount of people that start a business who do not know how to sell, right? When you hear the stats of like 90% of businesses fail, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. From my worldview, the majority of the reason is because they have no idea how to sell, or they dramatically inflate their ability to sell, and they have no idea about how much work it actually takes. It's almost like having two jobs in one. I would actually say business, once you know the technicalities of whatever the craft is you are executing, business is sales. That is the differentiator for sure. So, and if you don't have experience with that, I would tell you, brother to brother, like, you got to start acquiring that skill set. And if the first is like the knowledge of how to do it, because it's not as simple as a lot of people might think it is.
So I was in sales last year because my boss was trying to take some time off. He had me just get out there. And I think I sold not quite $1 million. I think it was like around $750,000 in sales, just
yeah.
as like
How'd your boss feel about that when he got back?
Pretty fucking great. I mean, it was throughout the year. Like, it was in service repairs and then new installs and stuff like that. He was pretty happy about it. For me, I didn't really care how much money I made him. I cared about the experience that I garnered, because my whole thing is like with my boss is, you could take my paycheck away, but you'll never be able to take away the skills that I acquired.
100%, bro.
So
this is like, it's like Spanish Fly for Wes. This is like catnip for Wes.
No, this is absolutely outstanding.
It's fucking awesome, man. But it's just, you know, like, I get in my own way, and I'm like, when I really start to like think about it, I get anxiety, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I try to like ingest the entire meal in one bite, you know, and it gets to be kind of overwhelming. I'm like, fuck, all right, let's think about this later, because I'm like half a thought away from a fucking panic attack.
What's the overwhelming part?
Well, stop.
And by the way,
First of all, stop playing with the Nicorette gum or whatever that noisy thing you're
Oh
doing.
yeah. My fault.
And Wes, does he have to do it all in 2025?
No, I mean, you got to do it all over the next 40 years, you know.
Yeah.
I also just posted, for people who tell me like, oh, they're good at sales and so on, I just posted my favorite sales pitch in the history of sales pitches in the chat. Nice. This is a guy named Kenny. You guys may have seen him before. Kenny Brooks, salesman. And just when I tell people to create a sales presentation and they tell me they have one, I often tell them they don't. Like, go and watch that pitch. It's unbelievable. Probably like 5 minutes, but the amount of words, 5 minutes probably took them 50 hours minimum to craft it and like practice it. It looked like a freaking Broadway musical, right? Like how he actually goes through it. And Ramon, you already have a leg up, man. I would be curious, like, you've got sales experience. If you're not at a level 10, which respectfully, you're probably not, right? Like, I would want that $750,000 or $1 million. Like, once you get into the tens of millions of dollars of sales, you're now starting to get really good. Do you know what I mean? Now, obviously, it's contingent on the price of the services, et cetera. But like, that's the level that you'd want to get to, tens of millions of dollars in sales, and keep on going. But you're already well on your way. What's the anxiety about? What are the core thoughts there?
It's failing. If I fail, it's not just me that's affected. It's 5 other people who are affected. And that is like, you know, I'm okay if I was by myself and I'd have to like thug it out and sleep in my truck and do what I have to do. But it's like, just the thought of like coming home and telling my kids I fucking failed, I'm sorry. That shit is soul crushing, just even to think about. And my wife is like a ride or die. She's like gonna 100% support me. And she, you know, she comes from poverty, and then I do too. So like we know what it feels like, so whatever. But it's like the kids, you know, it's the kids. That's the tough part. Yeah, that's the I don't want to say it's what's in my way, but it's what's making me think twice about.
Can I comment on that?
Yeah, please.
So remind everybody, what's the business?
Heating and air conditioning.
Yeah, heating and air conditioning. I will tell you, brother to brother, what that is not. That is not a new idea. Right? This idea has been tested. It's been
It's not
flushed out.
Bitcoin.
Right. So you would like literally, and I'm serious, man, the way that I would think about this, it is not possible to fail. It's like selling cookies. Hey, I got this thing. It's called selling cookies. You think it'll work? Yeah, I fucking think it'll work. Why? Because I buy a cookie every other day, right? Like there's a market for cookies. Now, whether or not you give up or run out of time, different story. That is not failure.
Or if he has to return to his secure job after failing out there on out on the edge, right? We wouldn't even call that failing.
No, exactly. And that's what I'm getting to. Precisely. Like when it comes to risk, it is so unbelievably important to define what we're actually referring to, right? Are we talking to like, okay, the risk of literally my children not being able to eat? That's probably an exaggeration. You know what I mean? Now, there are things that we can do to prep to make sure that that doesn't happen, right? But actually articulating that, I think Tim Ferriss had like a whole, a blog post on this. It's like actually articulate what the actual fear is. The problem with fear is our brain just creates this big nebulous cloud, and that just categorically defines an area as risky or not. It's up to your job. It's your job to define what that actually is. Okay. And then you can go and start to mitigate it. I am nervous, right? That I mathematically will not be able to pay the bills for my family. Okay, great. What are the bills? Right? What are the bills per month? Right? We can get dramatically more precise when it comes to defining these. Oftentimes, what actually is the biggest slice, because fear is usually multidimensional. There's many slices to the pie. Usually, the biggest slice is, and I think I posted this on my Instagram not too long ago. Usually when people say it's risky, they don't mean that. They mean, I don't want to look foolish in front of other people. I don't want my kids to think this is crazy, right? I don't want my kids to think poorly of me. They're worried about what their kids think, rightfully so. But that's usually the biggest slice of the pie. Because, dude, you have the biggest gift on the planet, which is you come from poverty. It makes guys like you and I freaking bulletproof. It's like, what are you going to say to me? Right? You can't send me down to a lower level from which I started. I'm not scared there. That's okay. So you have already removed the biggest mental risk, which is like you're probably willing to eat oatmeal and tuna fish like I did for many, many years. Who gives a shit? You might have to get over the mental, right? Like the mental baggage of, well, what will my kids say? Now, I think if you actually go at this like horns like forward and blazing, the only thing your kids could say is, wow, I didn't understand what dad did, but now looking back on it, it's crazy what he built for us. Like you have that chance right now. And if you fucking don't do it, right, then you don't get to claim that story in the future. And that's okay. The narrative could be like, yep, dad was dad. He worked for an HVAC company. Kind of cool. Do you know what I mean? That's like, and that's also great. I'm not shitting on that idea. But when you have the ambition and right, the drive to actually make it happen, there's nothing telling me that you have ambition, but you lack actual action. There's nothing telling me that, right? Why the hell not? What's the point of owning a Ferrari if you're going to keep it in the garage, or you're just going to drive it to your kid's school and back? What the hell's the point of that? I don't know, call me crazy, Ray, but what are your thoughts? Hey, dudes, sorry for the interruption here. Just wanted to let you know, if you want to join our pro team, go to romasteam.com/pro. You can help support the channel. You will also get access to exclusive content, masterminds, one-on-one sessions, etc. All right, back to the episode.
So, I mean, I don't want to sit here and like fucking say like I'm the greatest fucking construction worker ever, but
That's what we have Wes for.
I do have a lot of skills, and I think it's like I'm lucky to be able to do these things, and I'm lucky to be able to like I don't know, one of the greatest compliments that I got was from a customer, like a potential customer a few months ago, and he was like, "I really appreciate your candor." And I didn't know what the fuck candor means, so I had to look it up after we talked. I was like, "Oh, right on, thanks, dude." And then it just means honesty. It just means honesty, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, well, this, I mean, and then we ended up getting the sale, and it was like a $40,000 job. So I don't know, like, I think people, when I talk to people, they see a level of honesty, and then when they see my work, they see a level of skill. And there's also like the planning on jobs. Like I'm really good at like pivoting and then adjusting, and nothing's ever A, B, and C. Sometimes I gotta like make do with what I got.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have all those skills, and I'm just I'm not using them. I'm just underutilizing my own skills, and that should kind of sucks a little bit too. But I like the way that you framed that. I like the way that you framed it earlier. How like I have an opportunity to be great. And
Wes, process question. How does Ramon stay on good terms with his boss while he potentially transitions into entrepreneurialism? Like I'm imagining, being upfront and having candor, new word, with his boss would be valuable. I could see maybe his boss being a partner, like he could move to partner level rather than employee in some capacity. Right. Or he can just steal all the boss's business, like clients, and squander that relationship.
Yeah. So I tend to take a radical candor position, like a radical transparent. I think Ray Dalio kind of coined that phrase, like radical transparency. I'm not saying that's the best and most strategic. I tend to be very forthcoming with, like, in the past, whenever I've worked for people, it's like I'm either going to become partner of this place, or I'm going to go and start my own company, just so we're on. Like, and I say that literally from day one, because for me, there's a certain amount of stress that comes along with like invisible economies. Like, I don't want this thing in my head that I know that I'm scheming and doing. Do you know what I mean? Without the person on the other side not knowing. But you take the risk there of, like, your boss says, okay, great, see you later, because I'm not going to be training my competition. So you could either take the playbook that I use, which is like radical candor, or you could, to be fair, it is implied in every single employment agreement, basically, that, like, he does not own you. You are not a slave, right? It's at any point, what do they call it? Like at will. At any point, you could quit or he could fire you, So that is implied. So it's not a morality question. It's just a comfort question. I am comfortable with radical transparency. But I could also tell you, it is probably not the best strategic move. The best strategic move, honestly, would be to get as much skill from that organization as possible, and then stack chips and stack skill, and ideally even what Paul Wall is saying over in the comments right now, right? Like, can you actually start to acquire customers, or at least interest on the side, so that when you jump ship, you're actually jumping onto an actual ship, not jumping into the abyss. That would be the most strategy around it. But guys, I'm going to jet. Ray, why don't you stay on if that's cool with you? You can flush this with Ramon. Ramon, any questions for me before I head out and I got to go to a meeting?
Fuck, I'm probably going to think of a question as soon as you hop off. I have nothing right now, but I do want to say that I'm super grateful. I'm super grateful that I had this chance to talk to you.
Hell yeah, dude. Like, I would love to talk to you more about it, because I use a contractor out here, like handyman. He's amazing. And he wouldn't mind me saying this. If I could just give him like a few gifts, it's like, dude, if you got the ability to use Excel, if you got the ability to actually sell, like make sales calls, like these little things, dude, it would take his business. He probably makes a couple $100,000 in revenue a year. I'm guessing like 200-300. Like, he would he would simply, not easily, but simply, very simple steps to get north of $1 million in revenue. Like I have no question in my mind. But these things are chokeholds for him, right? How to run a project, use Excel, how to make sure you map everything out, cost of supplies, and so on. He's kind of shooting from the seat of his pants, because that's what his father did, right, in the trade. But that'll only get you so far. So yeah, I would love to break down your business model at some point if that's of any value to you.
Absolutely. And what you said about Excel, I don't know shit about Excel. So that's actually my homework. I'll take that from you, and I'll actually work on that over the next few months.
So go to I just gave this advice to another business owner. What do we use? Udemy.com, UDEM as in Michael, Y as in yellow. Just go and get literally like, and it's cool because it just sells mini courses on there and it shows reviews and so on. Pick the highest reviewed, most reviewed basic Excel class on there. Take it. It'll probably take you 5-6 hours total. And
Okay.
you will have infinitely better skill in Excel, which in my opinion is literally the best business software on the planet, in my opinion. It's basically free, almost, right? And it's like an infinite canvas, and you don't have to master it. But when you're running a business and your competitors don't know how, I almost guarantee you your competitors will not know how to use Excel to the degree that they should. It's unbelievable what it does.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. I'm going to head out. If you guys want to stay on, I won't close it down. I'm just going to mute myself.
Appreciate you, Wes.
Yeah, nobody gets fired up like Wes when he's talking about Excel.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking jazzed up right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the man. He's the man. What are your plans for the holidays? Like, do you have to visit relatives abroad or anything, or out of town?
No, all my family's close by.
Okay, and you're
you're
like
that.
Riverside or Bakersfield or San Luis or something. Where are you?
No, San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay. Right.
But I'm like in a obscure little town 15 minutes south. My daughters, so two of my daughters have the same birthday, and for their birthday they wanted to go to Disneyland for Christmas. So that's the big trip, and that's what's taking all my money. But
yeah,
it's fun.
That's all right.
I'm gonna drive down there. It's gonna be fucking horrible, and it's gonna be funny to look at.
You're staying in the park? Like, can you get hotel rooms in the park, or how does that? Or are you just going for the day?
No. We're gonna go for like 4 or 5 days, but we're gonna have to stay in Orange, which is like 20 minutes out, just so we can get a better deal, just so we can save a little bit of money and shift the funds around a little bit.
Sure. That's great. Yeah, I took my daughter to Universal Studios down in Florida. We still haven't done Disney, but we're gonna have to do that. It was awesome. I didn't think I'd enjoy it, man, but like I had as much fun as she did.
Yeah.
You know? And so you're bringing all 4 kids or just 2?
All 4. We're all going. One big old happy family. We're gonna rent a minivan. It's gonna be fucking horrible. They're gonna fight the whole time.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be. There's gonna be moments of, do I drive this van off this bridge right now and end this noise?
100%.
But it's also gonna have. I think you're probably gonna forget most of that and just have a couple of key memories that are great.
Yeah, it's gonna be great for them too. That's what it's really all about. Like me, I've already had my chance at being a kid. Like, they got, my 12-year-old, she's getting pretty close to not caring about being a kid so much anymore. So
mine turns 12 on Sunday, and now it's a different dynamic, right? Because like it's an only child situation over here, and so I just know that like quality time with dad is more important than anything else.
Yeah.
So and I'm sure you've been able to have a lot of quality time with the kids these past couple of months.
Dude, I was like, I was Mr. Mom for like 2 months. I was fucking making cookies in the morning and shit. And I was like,
and there's no substitute for that, dude. That is awesome.
It was great, man. It was really, really good. Like, and I think that goes into like the self-service, like doing like, what can I do for other people?
Creating value for others.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was that. I was also coaching my daughter's soccer team.
Awesome.
And the season's coming to an end. Our last game's tomorrow. And I'm super bummed out about it.
Did you lose it on the refs at all? Did you have to be like escorted off the field or anything like that?
There was fucking one ref who almost caught the worst of me, but it's all right. It's fine. We still won. So. It was like 4-1, but whatever. But like, I'm like, I don't know. It brings like a level of joy in my life and like purpose and like I know a little bit about like training, like strength training and stuff like that. So I'm able to like pass it on to the kids and like
Mm-hmm.
team stuff, and some of the stuff I learned from here, I pass it on to them too.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, like once that's all over, I'm like, oh fuck, okay, there's a void. And like, do I
Well, it'll just be a
try
different
to,
season,
yeah,
you know?
do I try to fill that void with something else? Do I just let it end and then see what comes up? You mentioned that you help out in your church every
Uh-huh.
Saturday, right? That's
Yep.
huge, man. I need to do something like that. It's just I don't know if this is the time or place for it, but I've been out of church for a long time, and I think a big self-reflection thing for me in the past few months is like jumping back into that,
Hey, God loves
jumping
a
back into
stranger, man. He'd love to hear from you.
Dude, Mike, was it Mike was talking on the cast a couple weeks ago or something like that. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
was yeah, I mean, he said a lot of things there that made a lot of sense. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He's back in Maine and he's going to church with he's back with an ex and whatnot. And I love it, man. I don't always have great conversations with God there. Sometimes it's just being part of a team, being part of a tribe,
Right.
and being of service to my community, like creating value, basically, right? And so, yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, I do the
That
same in AA with like people who are just coming into sobriety.
yeah.
If I'm able to, I speak to a couple of them on a daily basis, and that again is my version of creating value for others. And so, uh, yeah, like, I mean, I'm picturing you. Like, how old's your youngest?
She's about 8 months.
Right. So
No.
I'm picturing you like going to Sunday school with her, kind of like relearning it. Like you're sitting like tiny chairs all in a circle, and there you are, also like
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll
and
get down in those little chairs.
yeah, or dude, like you know what, dude, if you can manage to get four kids to church at the same time, that's like nobody's gonna ask you to do any more than that. Like that must be some kind of operation, man.
Yeah. Well, I do need to find something that where I can like be of use to my community instead of just I don't know. That like that's super important. I think
Hmm.
I found that and I want to keep that rolling somehow, some way.
And you
Um
found that like the coaching, your kids' team satisfied that?
yeah, like dude, big time. Like I had no idea. See, like here's my thing. Like I didn't want to coach. I didn't.
Hmm.
Like last year, I was just kind of the dad that would hang out and I just
Hmm.
want to see my kid play soccer.
Right.
And then the head coach was like, "Hey, do you mind helping out? You know, we got like 3 stations. We only got 2 coaches." I was like, "Sure, yeah." So I ended up being like a unofficial assistant coach last year. And then the head coach was like, "Hey, man, this my assistant's not going to sign up next year. Like, let's talk next year." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." Like that's literally 8 months away. Like I don't care. And I mean, it comes around quick. And then I was like, "Oh fuck!" And I tried to like ignore it away, but then I ended up like having to do it because he signed me up for me, and I was like, oh shit, all right, well I'm really in this now. And dude, I just really didn't want to do it, and I don't know, it was cool, like the like just being able to like teach the kids, and they offer you the opportunity to like I don't know, just
Yeah, you learn as much as they do in the
yeah.
process, right?
Yeah, I didn't think that I had anything to offer them, and then we created like this really strong team. Like the bond, like our team's okay. You know we're like 5-3
Great. What this is like 11,
soccer.
12-year-old soccer, girls soccer.
Yeah, 12 and under.
Yeah, so it's like the Ladybirds, or there's a movie or something called like the Ladybugs or something like that,
Yeah,
where Rodney
yeah, yeah.
Dangerfield like coaches a girls soccer team or something. And it's like I bet it was hilarious, man. I bet it was awesome.
And I mean, they're like sisters out there, dude. And I'm like, oh
Yeah,
shit, like we like me and head coach kind of like it starts at the top, and we kind of like foster this environment, and like
awesome.
I don't know, it's pretty cool. And I was like, fuck, I want to keep this rolling. This feels awesome, like to be
Well,
able to
are they
bring
not
value
doing
to
any?
these kids.
Are your kids not doing any activities in the spring?
Well, they should, and that's my thing, is my kids need to be active in some way, or they need to participate in athletics or something that's head coach was telling me yesterday too. He's like, my kid, like, she's not playing soccer after this. We're gonna go do like art or like dancing or something. I was like, that's kind of a good shift to like now get them being creative instead of athletic. So you can be creative in different ways, I guess. So yeah, I don't really know. It's just kind of like things floating in my head right now. Nothing's really concrete, but they do need to keep.
Well, I think
doing
that's it's a great conversation to have with your kids and your wife. Like my daughter does dance now. So same, like transitioned out of like kids sports to dance, and it's great. Like it is an extracurricular activity that is physical, and that teaches them confidence and kind of team dynamics, just like a sport, and it's great.
Hell yeah.
So, and now look, man, you made a lot of promises to Wes about you're gonna like be a business ninja in 2025. What do you say we both take like we keep in touch on the Discord, and we both like do like his advice, which is go to udemy.com and pick the best reviewed Excel basic course, and like either between now and November, or now in December, or now in Jan 1 or whatever, have that, because Wes has been telling me to do that going on 3 or 4 years now. And
this is fucking perfect, and me and you can hold each other accountable that we're both going to do this just for the better sake of our families.
And Paul, he says he's a Excel ninja, so
hell yeah,
we can get him to be the referee to see who wins or whatever.
Fucking tech support. Yeah, I'm definitely going to refer back to Paul Wall.
All right.
Do you have that link? Do you mind posting that link on the Discord so I can just open it?
I'll do it. Quick? Yeah, I don't have it, but I just wrote down what he said, and I'll post it, and we'll get Wes's input on that too.
Sweet. Hell yeah.
All right, Ramon. Always good connecting with you, dude.
Dude, it's always good talking to you, Ray. I appreciate you, man.
Heck yeah, dude. And I learn just as much from you as you do from me in these conversations. So I appreciate it.
Awesome. Cheers, dude.
Let's do it again soon.
Have a good weekend, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
All right.